So guys, there are spoilers for this film in this review. So if you wish to be unspoiled, go out, watch the film, then come back. You have been warned. Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, Reynolds. So yeah, this is going to be a great time. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday. I'm your host, HD, and this week we watched Deadpool and Wolverine, the newest installment, or the topper of the Deadpool trilogy. And this film, in my opinion, is what a comic book film should be. It's bloody, it's funny, it's entertaining, it's gory, it's all the violence, all the blood everywhere, on your face, on the floor, on the walls, everywhere, in the air, all the blood. I just love a gory comic book film, and this is what I like. But before I go on a whole tangent about why I like this film, I'll tell you why I like this film and more back at the house.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Can you imagine the fun? The chaos? To lose everything that I've ever cared about. Our entire world needs you. Huh. All Rudd finally aged. Shut up. Oh my God. Us? A team? The answer is yes. Shake on it. Ah, you nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife. Yeah! Let's fucking go.
Hey guys, we'll go back to an episode of Ticket Tuesday, Sunday edition. I am your host, Rona Time HD, and this week we watched Deadpool and Wolverine. You see this nice little cowl we got here. And this is the, introduction to Deadpool and Wolverine, the X-Men, and overall just the whole Fox universe of, heroes and villains to the MCU, starring real-life best friends Hugh Jackman and Reynolds as the titular Deadpool and Wolverine. This film is... Well, I'm not going to give away everything. Obviously, the really cool, cameos that are in the movie, I'm not going to spoil that. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the stuff that was in the trailers, but I'd rather not, because obviously the film just came out, and obviously this is a Sunday edition, because we couldn't wait until Tuesday, not just because we just wanted to see the film as soon as we can. We didn't want to get spoiled, because it'd be, a lot of days later, and I don't want to get spoiled or nothing. You guys know how I feel. But, yeah. With that being said, this film is just... I really like all the X-Men representation. I really like all the Fox representation. There's a lot of really good surprises in there, but just overall, I really like the chemistry of Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Because, obviously, I haven't read too many comics, but I get the gist of Wolverine cannot stand Deadpool, and Deadpool loves Wolverine. So it's they have that dynamic of Wolverine wanting to stay 100 meters away from him, and Deadpool literally being Velcro. I just think it's a great dynamic because of how, much of kind of a straight man Wolverine is, and how, no nonsense he is, and how Deadpool is 100% nonsense all the time. He's the merc with a mouth for a reason, right? He can't shut the fuck up. He just says all this nonsense. He just says a bunch of shit, right? And that's why a lot of people can't stand him as a character. I mean, I like him, but it's understandable why people can't really find the appeal. But overall, also another thing that I need to mention about this movie that I mentioned on the walkout, the blood, the gore, the violence. This stuff is why... This is just what comic book movies should be, in my opinion. Maybe not all, comedies like this one, but they should have, comic book silliness and violence, right? Because comic books are fucking violent, right? If you, turn one page on, any Marvel or DC comic that's worth its salt, it's gonna have blood, it's gonna have violence, it's gonna have some kind of taboo theme, right? It's gonna have adult themes. Comics, nowadays at least, are very adult, right? For better or for worse, but I love me blood. I love me, what the fuck? I love me some blood in a movie like this, because it just makes sense. Right? If Deadpool is going to have guns and swords, he's not just going to tap people with them, he's going to cut their fucking heads off with it, right? And if, I'm going off a little tangent here, but if you have a giant vibranium dinner plate, like fucking dinner platter shaped shield, and you throw it at somebody, a superhuman, a super enhanced superhuman, throws it at somebody in full force, and it comes back like a fucking boomerang. It's not just gonna knock you out, it's gonna slice you in half, right? I want that shit. I want it, right? And so, just blood, action, you know, it just, love that stuff. Love that stuff. And obviously being funny, it just adds to a lot of the entertainment. And I don't know, this film just is the comic book experience I'm looking for. I want action. I want explosions. I want dead people. Lots of dead people. I want weird stuff, right? Like, 'cause comics are weird, right? And they're like, I don't know how to describe it. They're just weird. So the movies should experiment and do weird stuff, because that's the best kind of comic stuff, is like not the base level stuff, like get weird with it, right? Go like with obscure comics, obscure characters that can work if you know how to write them well. I feel like a good comic book movie should not be hard to make, right? They're such an easy formula to get right. Just understand the characters and understand who they are, have a good villain, have good action, have good characters, have good, just, it's not hard. I don't know why it seems so hard now, but I'm just saying, in our modern era, I don't know why it's so hard to make a comic book movie. Maybe it's because they're not trying, or maybe nowadays it's just hard for people to understand how to make a superhero movie or a comic book movie, but it shouldn't be, right? If you get I don't know. I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but speaking of good villains, though, Cassandra Nova, the sister of Charles Xavier, she is the main villain of this film, and I love it. I love how I just really like her, right? Because she's like evil, just super evil, and she's not really very redeemable at all, but that's what I kind of like about her. She's I don't know, she's like, what if Charles Xavier was evil, which is a terrifying concept, because he's an Omega level mutant for a reason. He could literally, like, explode your head if he wanted to. But he doesn't, because obviously he's, like, the goodest of all good mutants, right? He has, like, everybody's, goodwill in mind, right? He has everybody's, whatever. But she's not. Like, she's super evil. She only cares about herself. She, like, kills people if they, like, do one wrong thing, or if they just insult her. She will literally kill you for looking at her wrong. And she is just super maniacal, right? And it's like she was born that way, though. You know, she was like so dangerous that it's like soon as she was born, basically the TVA sent her to the void, right? She was that dangerous and that evil that they had, for the betterment of like the timelines and everything, they had to get rid of her. And I think that's actually a pretty good really good at establishing how powerful she was. And it literally took a miracle to defeat her, right? And I like that. You know, I like how, like, they had to work hard, or they had to, like, really, like, risk shit to put a stop to her, because she was that strong and that unstoppable. Like, you couldn't stop her by fighting her, because she could literally just go and just, like, shove you into the ground. Like, you can't fight that. Right? You can't fight, like, what does she have, like, telekinesis, telepathy, whatever? No, what is it called? She has telepathy. Realistically, you can't fight somebody like that, literally. They could fuck you up, and she does fuck people up in this movie, and I love it. And also, there's another villain in Paradox. He's more of a, kind of a side villain. Well, they both... Yeah, he's a bit of a side villain, and he's kind of, like, a lesser villain to Cassandra, obviously, because he's just, like, a dude. He doesn't have powers. He's just, like, kind of greedy. He's a little corrupt. You know, he doesn't think the TVA is doing things right. He thinks he knows what's best. You know, he's trying to destroy timelines by, like, using a machine to just eradicate them. You know, he's a pretty evil guy, but he's, like, a businessman. Right? He's just, like, doing what's best for business. You know what I mean? He's corporate. But there's also a plethora of other villains. If you saw in the trailers, Pyro is back from, I can't remember which one. One of the original, like, X-Men movies, though. I can't remember which one. Maybe leave it down in the comments or remind me. It's been a while. But, yeah, he's back. Also, another one, the last one I'd like to mention is Sabretooth. That was a pretty cool little cameo there. And overall, just the film, I like the cameos, how they were well paced. Obviously, being a multiverse film, there was a lot of cameos, but they didn't feel overbearing like some of the other multiverse films did. They also, to me, they didn't feel very forced, like they had a purpose, right? I liked the multiverse stuff in this better than I liked, let's say, like the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness multiverse stuff. I think this one did it a lot better, because not only did it actually, for the first time, actually fucking use the TVA from Loki. I like that, because finally the TVA are in a fucking MCU movie. Like, I've wanted that, because Loki seems really important, but they haven't been using the TVA for multiverse stuff. I'm like, they've been doing their own thing. It's like, use the TVA. But it's like, because, like, they've been fucking with the timeline. Like, Spider-Man nearly destroyed his timeline. The TVA aren't going to get mad at him about that. Like, they care about protecting the sacred timeline so much that they're not going to get mad at him for nearly fucking destroying it. What? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. I'm just saying that I would absolutely recommend this film. Fan of Deadpool, fan of X-Men, MCU, Marvel, superheroes, comic books. If you're a fan of any of those things, you could get a massive, massive amount of enjoyment from this film. And I just highly recommend it for any comic book fan, Marvel fan. Absolutely. And with that being said, I think I'd rate it an 8 out of 10. Very, very good. Highly recommend it. And, yeah, I think that's what I'd say. I think that's my piece. So, guys, hope you like this video. Share with friends. Subscribe to notifications on. Comment down how much you liked it. But you guys, I know how it goes. I didn't really say that. What I really meant to say was, if you guys hated this video, unsubscribe, dislike, turn, hate me in the comments. And I've been Running Time HD. Shit, what was I gonna say? I forgot. And I've been Running Time HD. Off to break the fourth wall. And after this, maybe I'll chop some guys up with my swords. Get kisses from the world's ugliest dog, maybe. Maybe I'll eat some Mexican food. Maybe I'll do all these things. Just maybe. We'll see. Better. This is a wall, and this is me. Something like that. Could you actually stop recording?